And with that final swipe of the chamois, concludes the last wash that this trusty AU Falcon is going to get from me for just a while. It's going to be parked up, but if you care to stay with me, I'm going to go through what it's been like to own and drive for the last 10,000 Ks in 12 months. I'll be going through its performance, reliability, things I've had wrong with it, and compare it to what you may be able to buy in a modern fleet of vehicles today. And you might just be surprised. So stick around, grab a cuppa, grab a beer, beverage of your choice, and let's go through it. All right, just got you zip tied in over there. Here we are on the road test and a little bit of a chat part of the AU Ford Falcon 2002 Marlin Ute. And why not hit it straight up with a bit of an acceleration test. We're at 100. Not too bad. Performance, tick, goes pretty well. You can't complain. Comparing it to any modern day car, it's just as good, if not better than. Big 4 litre, straight 6. What else would you expect? Handling, well, it's pretty good. It's quite agile, nippy, despite having leaf in the rear. Can you complain? No, you can't. It is a bit loud. We'll get onto that soon. I'm not sure how well you can hear me in here, but we won't spend the whole time chatting inside the car cab because I don't want to destroy all the audio. Comfort, it's not too bad. Just went through a rough section, just wallows about and goes through. The suspension is good. All of the gas struts are in nice condition. So it's not just sail planing through there because they're soft. It actually rides, takes the bumps well. I did mention leaf spring in the rear and its coilovers in the front, just like any other AU Falcon Ute. I don't think any of them came out with a coil spring in the rear at all in the Ford Ute lineup, unlike its Holden counterparts, which were running coil springs all around. What else do we have in the cab? Awesome air conditioning, works a treat. We got cruise control. Flick of the light switch, bottom button, and there we are, cruising at 110, just like any other modern car. So as you can see, the creature comforts are here, just basic. There's nothing flash on the display to show you what speed you're locking your cruise control in. It's just a simple cruise and set button to tell you that you've got it turned on and that you've got cruise control actually selected. The audio system, very basic. This one's got an aftermarket unit, just a CD player, nothing special. Can't even plug my iPhone or any other thing in it for music. But these days, you just buy one of those AM FM tuners and put it straight through onto your phone on that via Bluetooth and then just transmit the radio signal through your radio. Easy done. So when you compare driving in this compared to a modern car, it's all here, but it's just scaled back. It's like the budget version of what you would buy today if any manufacturing company was to actually decide to do such thing and just do like a bare bones budget work style ute like you used to be able to get. Seating position, seat comfort, it's all good. You can stretch out, you can raise the steering wheel up and down. There's nothing wrong. Rear view mirrors in a great spot. Electric driver side and passenger side mirrors easily enable you to be able to see what's happening behind. So it's a good space to be. There's plenty of room to stretch out. You're not cramped up. Good room in the back if you're carrying a little bit of luggage. By in the back, I mean just behind the seats. This model here, being a Marlin, it's also got a tidy tray. That enables you to lock away to a degree and secure some of the things that you might want to keep with you. Or you know, back in the day, you probably slot a few CDs in there. Not that you'd be doing that these days, but it gave you that option. And apparently, they are quite sought after. Potentially even a factory item for the Marlin. I'm not quite sure on that. What else have we got? Electric windows, up and down. Powered antenna, just like anything you'd expect to have today. Turn the radio off, antenna goes down. Go through your car wash, do whatever you're doing. Turn the radio back on, automatically comes back up. It's all very simple, all very basic, all really that you need. Let's talk about reliability. Has it left me stranded? No. Has it had problems? Most certainly has. We're in a car that's got 250,000 kilometres on it. I've just done 10,000 of those. We're at some wear and tear item stages, so some things needed to be done. We had the front passenger side brake caliper lock up. It didn't grab, but it was running tight. That ended up being a whole heap of grit and some warped piston cylinders, the warped pistons, causing that to happen. So we repaired that. Easy done. But there's a couple things that aren't as easy. We've got a pretty big oil leak from where the timing cover meets the head. That's going to be time consuming. Parts, not so much. A couple $100 to get you a full VRS kit to go through, tidy things up, so that's not really an issue, it's just the time. The exhaust system, I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's loud in here. All but ear piercing. Never mind, just bang some earplugs in. That's what I've been doing, just to limp this car along, because I knew that there was going to come a time. We've got the heater. Well, it doesn't work. It's actually been plugged off. The core is completely blocked solid with some sort of rust component. I don't really know what it is. Could even be like it's quite gritty, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Just haven't got around to fixing it. Driving it through winter has been really ordinary at best. I've just been wearing gloves to overcome that. You got a jumper, long pants on, set of gloves. It's really not that bad. If I had the time, I'd have repaired that. But time is poor at the moment, hence why the uploads have been so few and far between. The other things we got going on, passenger side front ball joint. One of them is starting to knock a bit. I can hear it. The roads I travel on are pretty ordinary, quite rough, so that's not to be expected. They get hammered around quite a lot. That's again just a wear and tear item, so you can't complain about that sort of stuff. And that's about the only things that have really gone wrong whilst I've had it. So that's a pretty good run. 250,000 Ks, really just wear and tear. That's about it. I'll just turn around up here. I'm running very low on fuel. As I'm parking it up, I'm just wearing that down. No sense putting a whole heap of fuel back in it. Fuel economy, well, it's pretty good. In the scheme of things, it's a big car. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a big straight six, 4-litre engine. This one being the Intec variant by Ford Australia. Very reliable and durable. We're looking at about 10.2 litres per 100. Most of my driving is in a 110 zone, so that's at 110 kilometres per hour. 10.2. So if you were doing 100, you could just about call it a neat 10, perhaps even a touch better. Now that is good. You can't complain about that. That's not even that far off like a modern dual cab. But this has got quite a bit of poke. It's a little bit different. And some would say you can't spell beautiful without the AU, which is exactly what we are in. So if you were using this as a daily, probably around the city or something like that, or in town, you'd probably be looking at 14, 15 litres per 100, I'd imagine. Again, that's not too bad. As I was discussing earlier about the ride, just something else has come to mind. Like, it's probably more comfortable than a modern dual cab utility, which is, some of the highest selling cars in Australia these days. So you've got the functionality of a ute, a bigger tray than what most of them would have, but it still rides well. So that's great. I throw hay in the back every now and then as I'm coming home from work. How convenient, not having to do another trip. It's such a shame that this style of vehicle just won't exist anymore. They're done. The likelihood of them coming back, very, very slim, considering we were the only market in the world that was producing them. And here in Australia, we do not have a car manufacturing strategy, I guess, anymore. Like, it's just been abandoned. Production costs are too high, and where we live in the world for exporting, export costs are quite considerable as well in comparison to other places to be. Our market internally is quite small. 23, 24, 25 million population, I think it is these days. So if only 1% of that is buying a new car every year, the sales volume just isn't there for it to kick back into gear. But what don't I like about it? Even before the exhaust was playing up, it was quite noisy in the cab. You've got this wall right here, and all the road noise and any other sound, bit of wind and that just reverberates straight off it, and it's just like hammering the cab to a degree. Being low to the ground, well, that was the demise of the exhaust. Following a car in the dark, low beam, vehicles coming in the opposite direction, which you probably all know is pretty hard to see. Well, low clearance, dead kangaroo on the road. Not good for your exhaust system when it's paper thin, because it's all but rusted through. That's how I found out it was all but rusted through. Just clipped this kangaroo, tore a big hole in it. It's been getting louder and louder each day from that point. Fuel economy, as I said, 10 litres per 100k. Well, I do probably 1,800 k's a month, possibly more. So if it was around that 8 litres per 100, sure, I'd probably save a little bit of money throughout the year. Also, being a 6-cylinder, well, that bumps your rego up as well. So the running costs and maintenance costs do build up. It's got a few other little niggly things that I didn't mention. The fuel gauge, it's a swinging vote. Goes up and down and sort of levels out a bit better once the tank gets low, but for that first half a tank, it's kind of all over the place, so you're still kind of second guessing. So I just set the trip meter, easy done, not a problem in the world. I get roughly 730 Ks, 725 Ks or so before I need to refill, and that's with that 10.2 litre per 100 fuel economy. I think these have got like an 85 litre tank, so I'm able to stretch it out quite far, which is good. Certainly can't complain. As I've also mentioned, I like the cabin space. It's really good. There's enough room to throw my bags and stuff in behind, some tools in the cab if I don't want to throw them in the tray. Tuck them in behind the seat, they're there safe and secure, no issues at all. I liked driving a little bit of a classic. It's not quite a classic. But as for things I don't like about it, being a car, as in what it is, there's not really much. I was very up in the air about the design and the styling when I first put this thing on the road. I wasn't a fan of the AUs, but I get it now. They grow on you. They're actually a really good car. The interior fittings and fixtures, it's all pretty well soft touch. It's all fairly well held together. There's not really any rattles or creaks, bangs or bumps or anything like that from this cabin. As we said, 250,000 Ks, and this thing has spent some time off-road. You can tell, you just got to look underneath it. It's been sandblasted by stones just by the amount of off-road work that it's done. All in all, there's not really much to not like. One of the other things it started doing was the indicators are a little bit hit and miss. Sometimes they just don't want to indicate. They don't want to flash, it'll just hold on solid, but you give it a few hits and then it'll start up and work properly. So that's not too bad, that's just annoying. Anyway, we're back home. Let's jump out and have a chat. So that concludes the driving and performance side of this car, the mighty AU Falcon. So let's address the elephant in the room, this front end. Although not striking to me initially, it's something I've grown to like and appreciate. These wide sweeping headlights actually deliver a good beam of light, both low and high beam. So although they look ghastly, but do grow on you, they're very effective, and I would say better than a lot of modern cars today. So that really can't be complained about. Beyond that swooping shape, I said it back in my initial video, they do look better in a Ute for me. Other people prefer the sedan. And For the design period that Ford were going for at the time, like the Probe and that, this is probably one of their better examples. So it grows on you. If you're pessimistic and you're not too sure, it does grow on you. Let's discuss some of the things that I did, and if you were one of the original watchers and subscribers back in the day, which helped kick this channel off, you will have seen, or well, you may have come along a little bit later and chimed in. The initial upload does get some good views still. So what did I do to bring it around? Well, this is base coat, not clear. And look at it, that's still pretty good. Facebook told me it couldn't be done, which I also went through, but here we are. 12 months down the line, this has only seen daylight. It's never been parked undercover, stays in the sun, day in, day out. And it's held up really well. You can see where I did the repairs here, where all that paint was flaking away. Well, a bit of a sand and a polish, it's held up quite good. There is some areas where it hasn't done so good, but all in all, you just can't complain. For a very rough and ready polish, 12 months in the Western Queensland heat, it's holding up really well. Still got some shine, still got some luster. Let's discuss the things that haven't gone so well. Well, the roof, it's probably getting worse. It does cop the brunt of the sun. But also the tailgate. I think it's probably got worse as well. Tailgate cops the worst of the western sun, where I park for work and at home most of the time. Other things, some trims, just starting to come loose. You can hear that rattling when you're going down the highway a bit. These rubber tabs for this weather seal, I guess, on both sides, starting to lift. The other side more so, where it's completely separated, both front and rear. The other thing, not really a problem with the car itself, but this tonneau has become really loose, and now when it rains, does this, the water just pools up. So I've got to be mindful to come out and get rid of that after a rain event, so that way it doesn't get any worse. But as you can see, and I think I said before, it has held up really nice, considering not well loved or cared for probably a good portion of its life. Another thing I care to note, which was a comment from a subscriber, and then I later looked into, is that Marlin Utes didn't traditionally come out with the Tickford motor that this one has, whereas this one does. And I've cross-referenced the factory engine to what is currently in it, and it says the correct numbers, so this is a matching number car. So maybe this was somewhat of a limited edition or a special run of Marlin Utes. I need to look into that further, and once I do come up with an answer, I'll come back and let you know. So I guess the question begs, why am I taking it off the road? Today is actually, it's the last day of registration. Well, I need a sedan. Commitments with kids and having a ute really doesn't mesh, especially when you've got more than one child. So to be able to do school pickups and drop-offs on the occasions that I need to do it, I can't drive the AU anymore. But I've got another car coming, and that's going to create for more content, and hopefully you guys like it. It's a little bit different, but fingers crossed it works out for the channel. Would I put this on the road again? Absolutely. I've enjoyed driving it. It's been fun. I've been driving dual cabs or single cab utes, four-wheel drives for some time now, and it's been great to get back to a grassroots utility, bare basic bones, and just drive the highway. It's been more comfortable. It's got a little bit more pep. Fuel economy hasn't really been any worse. It's just got a 6-cylinder rego. For the cost that you pick up one of these for, say between $3,000 to $5,000, lower insurance, I think if you're wanting a runaround car, I've actually proved it. This is great. This ute will be back. And if you're worried about the Ford content, I do have more coming. I'll slide in some photos of what I've got still remaining here. No doubt it will be added to. So keep your eyes peeled for them. Considering you can just take this down the street and not be too concerned if it gets a few light bumps or bruises, which it has had in the car park at work. Not gonna lie, ran over a kangaroo, tore the exhaust. You really can't go past this. It's been a great car. Thanks for sticking around and watching it to this far. If you have made it and you haven't already subscribed or liked this upload, please do so. On the hunt for 2,000 subs. That'll be awesome to get there, another milestone achieved. Will this be back? Absolutely. Just doesn't fit my needs right now. Needing that sedan, the few mechanical issues that it is having right now, spending the money on it just doesn't make sense. So I may as well wait till I can do it all, get it done, then bring it back to you guys. Do the extra repairs like the body and maybe even some paint work on it, make it schmick again. So thanks for watching, look after yourselves, travel safe, and get in that shed, carport, paddock, wherever it is. Work on your rides, get them out, get them enjoyed. You only live once. Thanks for watching.